So in this next video, what I want to do is I want to cover just a couple more features as it pertains to the header, as it pertains to some of the sections that you can do before we get into a full-on build-out and then copying of your perfect look and feel. So as I showed you in the previous video, you can click on this header and actually edit the background to an image or a video. I think we had a video at some point of like these cars driving by, right? So that's that, and we can easily keep that and save that. But I also want to show you that you can replace the entire header layout as well. And this is a new feature. And so they have all these different layouts that you can kind of come through and decide to use. So like, for instance, this header layout right there, pretty cool. I mean, just a full header. It's got some buttons already built into it. This one has some email marketing capabilities if you want to grab an email for a client. This one, just a basic idea. I think the main thing is you can get a lot of really good ideas from what they've already built and tested. Pretty cool look and feel here. Got the email marketing built in. I'm going to show you how to do all that stuff too if you don't want to use one of theirs. But you know, this will update too. They tend to update this stuff, so this might not be exactly what you want. Like for instance, if we were doing this, you know, fulsome video, maybe this is what I want. So it really, guys, there's so much you can do with some of these features that Weebly's built for us. I just want you to be aware of these things and don't let them not be used, especially when these are great looking sites. I mean, if we went and looked at 5 or 10, I mean, I actually challenge you to do this. Go look at 5 or 10 different sites in your local market in the niche you're going into, and look just how crappy they were put together. And you know, again, like I say, some people sit there and pound their chest on, you know, oh, Weebly's too easy to use, and you know, the fact that it's free to use, like, you know, it still takes skill to have a good layout and a good aesthetic eye. And so, which kind of leads me into the next part when I talk about structure. I want you to know about this section piece here. It's a really powerful tool they just added. So you can literally drag that onto the page anywhere, and if I wanted to, I could take this section and I can edit the background. So maybe I just want to break up some color, right? I could change the color so this section has a little bit of a, you know, a design element to it. You know, maybe I want it to look, you know, like the background of my image up here. Okay. Listen, I'm not a graphic designer by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, most of my sites are pretty basic looking, but I do know from training this for long enough that there's a lot of people that make a lot of money just setting up small, simple websites like this. And once they kind of get their design, you know, their kind of go-to looks and feels, they're pretty dangerous, you know, as far as how much money they can make. So anyway, so there's that. And then you can actually come and add layouts here. So for instance, let's say this was, let's just say this was a photography site, okay? And I wanted to add my team. I can actually scroll through the different team layouts that they've already built, okay? So let's say I have a team of 3 and I want to add this to the table. There you go. I just added a whole entire layout to the table that I can now use. Now, let's say I want to switch it up. I don't want that one. I want to use a different one. I can switch it up and take a look at it. So all of a sudden, you know, we're like already building like a very professional looking site very quickly, very rapidly. So go back down, different way to look at it. Just awesome. And, you know, when you want to come in here and edit these things, you can come and edit all this stuff, okay? So I would have to hit save if I want to use it. And then if I want to switch these pictures out, it's just as simple as clicking on them and replacing image. If I want to change the names, it's just as simple as change name. Okay, I can see this stuff all live too. So that's how fast you can get up a site. And obviously, I'm going to show you the rest of connecting, you know, your site and your domain name. But you know, very quickly, very rapidly, if you needed to get a mock-up to a client, you could literally send them over this URL. This is live online, and it doesn't tell that you're building it on Weebly. It's your own little white-labeled version. Preview.editmysite.com, and they can come over here and they could take a look at what you've built thus far. If you're building this for yourself, of course, you can kind of take a look of what it would look like live. And then lastly, before we get too much further into the other stuff, I want to show you that you should be looking at what your site looks like on a device, because now almost all traffic, at least over 50% of traffic, is used from a mobile device or a tablet of some sort. So I can see what this looks like if I was on a cell phone. And this is important stuff. Obviously, this is a responsive theme, so easy to see how well it just lays out perfectly. But that's that, guys. So those are some just key topics and parts of building out your site that I want you to know. In the next video, we're going to go into copying pages so that you can have if you want to keep your same kind of look and feel that you build out on one page across all, how you do that and why there's some benefits to that when you have web forms. So I'm going to cover that in the next video. We'll see you then.